We're going to be doing a Yoga Nidra today. So if you wanted to just grab some extra bits, so an eye mask, maybe some extra blanket or cushioning, just anything that keeps you nice and warm and comfortable. We're going to be doing it for around half an hour, so we're splitting the class half and half. So eye mask, blankets, any cushions or pillows, and then as normal, a bolster or a long cushion, and some blocks or smaller cushions for yin. So moving into a new theme again as we come into a new month. So this month I wanted to look at the kidney and urinary bladder and all of the aspects that go with that. So we'll be focusing more on forward folds practice to really stretch the spine. So the kidneys are housed at the back of the body, just around the waist area in the back body. And the urinary bladder is the longest meridian line in the body. So it runs all the way from the baby toe right all the way up to the brain. So it's the longest line that we'll be working, and it has the most acupressure points and areas that we can start to target into. But the practices for the next few weeks are going to be targeting around the inner leg line, but more so the hamstrings, the spine, and a little bit of work through the quad as well. So that's physically where we're going with our practice. But when we're looking into the urinary bladder and the kidney meridian lines, we're looking at ways of eliminating. So these relate to the element of water, and also looking at birth, reproduction, and metamorphosis. So how do we use our energy to change and transform something that may be quite dense into something that's more productive, more light, more in alignment? And over the next few weeks, we're going a little bit deeper into each element and area of this. But for today, I wanted to work on just looking at how we can move past things that are keeping us stuck and stagnant and find more space for forgiveness. So when we can really let go of things that aren't serving us and are creating more of a blockage in our lives, whether that's our food choices or the way we spend our time, or how we the sort of the relationships that we have in our lives, and also how we treat ourselves, our patterns, our belief systems and habits. When we can really find forgiveness, we can let go of any dense emotions and heaviness and find that elimination, that release of toxicity, that density, to make way for forgiveness and all of the more positive aspects that come with that forgiveness. So that's where we're going towards our Nidra practice, and we're doing more forward folds for today. So we are going to start with butterfly. So just coming into a seated position, and you can take the soles of the feet together, the knees apart. If you wanted to work a bit deeper, just bring the soles of the feet nice and close in towards your sit bones, and you can hold onto the feet or onto the shins and just work to fold gently over. If you feel that you wanted a little bit of extra support, maybe taking some blocks underneath the knees so that you've got a ledge to rest the knee or the side of the hip onto. And always you can use your bolster or long pillow or cushions. So this is a nice one just to really support the legs if you feel to. You might also want to work with the cushions over the legs to act as a little bit of a support for the body, the spine. And ideally we're folding forward as much as we can so that we're really starting to stretch into this back of the waist area, and finding the head as a weight to really pull the spine longer, so you can let the head completely drop. But if that is really uncomfortable for you or for your neck or spine, always feel free to lay down as well. We're still working the inner leg line in that position, but it's just not as strong on the spine or neck. So as always, the meridians work in organ pairs. So our yin element, which is the more dense organ, is the kidney, and the kidney meridian line starts at the inside of the big toe. It works its way all the way up the inner leg line, which is where we're targeting right now. It cuts in through the groin, splits at the diaphragm, and two branches go all the way up to the collarbones, connect back into the throat, and it ends at the root of the tongue. And then the urinary bladder meridian line, which is its yang counterpart, begins at the inside of the eyes. It goes up the forehead and across the crown of your head where it enters the brain. And then it runs down the back of the body parallel to the spine. And a branch goes in to the body at the lumbar spine, the lower end of the spine, connecting to the kidneys and the urinary bladder. And then the outer branches run all the way down the backs of the legs and it ends at the little toe. So that's the points that we're working today. We're here just for around another 30 seconds or so. Maybe seeing if you can find a slightly deeper edge into the shape, letting yourself drop more fully in. So just finishing the round of breath that you're on, and take your time with your next inhalation to slowly lift yourself up to a seated position. Just take a moment here with the spine long and lifted. And really feel into the back of the body, into the spine. And you can use your hands behind the back of the knees to gently bring the feet flat to the floor, and just pause there for a moment. Just feeling into the inner leg lines and the spine. So if you took any props, just moving them out to the side and come over onto an all fours position. We're moving into saddle from here. So you can take a couple of variations with this one. You can either work with some blocks underneath your seat or some cushions. So if you take your feet about hip width apart, then you can bring that underneath your sit bones and work to bring your hands behind you. So you start to feel a deep stretch along the quad and a little bit onto the inner thigh. If that feels okay, you can work a little bit deeper into the position without. So we'll be moving into a camel variation from here. So if you feel that you're okay to come up to a more lifted position, you can work with your fingertips on the floor, or you can always come to your elbows onto the floor. And if you wanted to come into the more stronger variation, tuck the toes under, bring the hands back onto the heels, and then work to lean back. So this one is really pushing into the kidneys and the mid back. This is where we're going to get a nice deep compression. So just finding whichever variation works for you today, and then we're pausing here for around 1.5 minutes, so not too long. But just finding the variation that feels best for you today, either the saddle variation or coming up into camel. And you can keep the chin tucking towards the chest and just breathing in to lengthen the spine. So though we're in a slight back bend or a deeper back bend in the camel, we want to keep energizing out through to the crown of the head and feeling the tailbone gently tucking under to create a little bit more space in the back of the waist. Just here for around another 45 seconds. Nice, just taking a last round of breath. And then squeeze your core, keep chin tucking towards the chest, and as you inhale, slowly bring yourself back up to lifted position. If you took the high variation, just resting down onto the tops of the feet, and you can sit back to the heels. And if you came back onto the blocks, you can slowly lift yourself up and to come to all fours. Just take a moment here in either variation, just pause and feel into the back of the waist. So we get that nice compression into the kidneys. And when we move out, we just feel a nice opening and maybe a sensation of warmth or energy moving into this area. So if you have any props on your mat, just moving them out to the side again. And we're moving on to our stomach. So from here, allow yourself to come down to the mat slowly and coming into Sphinx. Taking, again, a back bend. There's a slightly softer variation from here, but we're holding for slightly longer. So if you take your elbows just ahead of your shoulders, that will give you a nice bit of space. The further away the elbows are, the less of a back bend you'll get, and the closer in, the more of a back bend you'll get. So just figure out where feels right for you. And then you can always rest your head on your hands if that feels nice for your neck. Or you might like to use a bolster or a blanket underneath your body for a bit of support. And if that's too much, you can always stack your forearms and just rest your forehead down onto your forearms with nothing underneath you. We're going to be here for around 3 minutes. We've been here for about 30 seconds or so already. And then we can progress it or regress it after that. So just start to close down through the eyes and really breathe the belly down into the floor. And again, find that length in your spine. So you're really opening up the back line of the body. And although we're compressing into the kidneys, we're finding a sense of spaciousness. And maybe even sending the breath into the kidney area. So you really feel it inflating and opening. Just coming through a last minute here in Sphinx. And then if you wanted to increase the stretching to seal for 2 further minutes, we can take your hands off of the mat and just gently start to straighten through the arms. So you're coming into a deeper back bend. If that felt a little bit uncomfortable, but you wanted to take a bit of extra support, you can bring a blanket or a pillow underneath your hips, and then that gives you a nice lift with the hips still grounded. And if you felt that you wanted to rest and come down lower from Sphinx pose, just taking the elbows a little bit further away, stack the forearms and rest your forehead down. So we're here for just another 2 minutes. Again, finding that nice length in the spine wherever you are. Always coming into the edge that feels appropriate for you and not going to any pain. Really allow yourself to feel what feels right and come to the edge of the stretch, of the posture, but don't feel that you need to hold past any resistance or work into any pain. So as the kidneys filter toxicity from the body and the bladder filters it through our urine, we're really looking at how we move energy from the body that's not helpful. So when we're working into this sense of release and letting go and eliminating, we're working not only on a physical level, but also on a mental and emotional level. And as we really start to tap into the qualities of elimination, of release, we start to see other ways in which we're holding on to things that are harmful or toxic or are actually a wasteful product in our lives. And this allows us to really start to clear space and to move away from that which is causing us any toxicity. So just taking your last round of breath wherever you are, either Sphinx or Seal. And we can slowly allow ourselves to come down completely onto our stomach. Just taking the arms out into shoulder height, so they're like a W shape, cactus arms. And then you can take your knee up to the same side your face turns to look. So we're creating a nice softening in the lower back and just resting on our stomach. Now just taking a couple more rounds of breath, really breathe into the belly. And then when you're ready, just making your way up to all fours and spin your legs round to come to a seat. Just take your time to come up. We're moving into a half dragonfly. So dragonfly is the straddle of the wide leg, but the half we're going to take the left foot into the upper inner leg. So right leg extends out long and left foot to right inner thigh. If you have, like my knee here is lifted off the floor, just take a blanket or a cushion or something to prop that up so you've got a bit of support there you can push into. And we want to turn the body towards the extended leg, and then we're working into a forward fold. So we're getting a nice stretch down the back. We're also working this inner leg line and the hamstring on the right leg. So finding a depth that feels good for you. Maybe it's just padding your arms out and bringing your hands to the floor. Maybe it feels like you can work into more of a deeper forward fold and let your head fall down. Or maybe you feel that you can completely rest and let your whole body just fold over that extended leg. If you have anything going on in the back of the knees, or you'd like a little bit of extra support, you can always take a blanket and pad that up underneath the back of the knee or ankle. We're here for 2 minutes each side. We've been here around 30 seconds or so already. So when we start to really look at what is causing us a sensation of toxicity or unhelpful patterning, we can really start to create a change from within and make better choices that allow us to move into more balance, to move into more stability and into much more gentleness. When we're not doing things that feel harsh to our bodies or toxic to our bodies, we're really coming from a space of compassion and deep inner knowing. And just in the last few seconds. So with your next inhalation, just gently starting to pad yourself back up to a lifted position. Take a moment to really feel into the channel, urinary bladder channel at the back of the leg, and that's spaciousness in the spine also. Maybe you feel in a flush of energy through this inner left leg. And then we can slowly change over side. So we're taking the left leg out long and the right foot comes to the inner left thigh. Again, if you need to prop up the leg, you can take a block or blanket underneath that right knee. And then finding an appropriate depth on this left side. So just begin to pad yourself forward, finding your edge here. Maybe you can pause there. If not, maybe coming down onto the elbows. Or if it feels nice to fold all the way in, again, letting your head drop down towards the knee. Just allowing the body to sink into that sense of gravity. And again, here for 2 minutes. So when we cling and hold on to unhelpful tendencies or relationships, behaviours, foods, jobs, we're just building up more and more toxicity in a mental level, more toxicity in an emotional level, because we know something's not right and we know that something is feeling off, but we continue to follow the same pattern. So with the kidney, the essence of the kidney meridian, we're really looking at ways that we can rebirth, we can reimagine and rediscover ourselves so that we can look into ways to transform and metamorphosize. And when we really allow ourselves to step into the fullness of what we can be, by letting go of anything that is harmful to us or toxic, it gives us so much more space to really embody and feel our emotions, because we're not denying anything and we're not coming from a space of fear, because we're true and we're in harmony and balance with what feels right to us. We're clear and operating at our highest capacity because we're really tuning into what doesn't sit right. What do we need to let go of? What do we need to release and make space for the right things to come into our lives? So just taking a final round of breath here on this left side. And then with your next inhalation, slowly making your way up to a lifted position. Just take a moment there to pause and feel into the left side. Feeling the left side of the spine. And also feeling into the right inner leg line and the back of the left leg. So taking the right leg out long and moving into final shape before we come into Yoga Nidra. So you can either work into caterpillar, which is a forward fold, or if you wanted to take yourself to a wall space, you can take legs up the wall. So be there for around 3 to 4 minutes. So just finding whichever feels best for you. Either find a wall space, bring your hip to the side, and then just gently spin your legs round and take yourself up the wall. You might want to use a thin blanket underneath your head. Or if you're coming into a forward fold, maybe you'd like to take some cushions or bolster underneath the back of the knees, just to create that nice softening behind the back of the knees. And either working into just relaxing the arms out long, or you can hold onto the feet. You can reach the feet, you can press into the Kidney Meridian point, which is just in between the big toe mound. So the big ball of the foot, just next to that, there's a slight dip. You can hold into that point, which is your Kidney Meridian point. So finding whichever position works for you, and allowing that sensation of dropping into the stretch. So if the legs are up the wall, we're working more deeply into the hamstrings and back of the leg. And if you're in caterpillar, the forward fold, you're going to be working the whole back line of the body. So really let your head drop. So this creates a really nice pull on the spinal muscles and the meridian line of the urinary bladder that runs either side of the spine. So as the UB meridian line and kidney is linked to the element of water, it asks us how much can we really flow with life, and how can we find a sense of going with the tides of change and moving with life in a way of not resisting, really being open to what life offers us and brings us without that sense of fear or resistance. And water is always looking to flow and come back and meet into the ocean. So when the water is stuck or trapped, it becomes stagnant. It's devoid of that flow, that power, and that essence of energy. So when we find ourselves stuck and stagnant, our essence, our energy is being depleted. And this links in with our Jing or vital energy, which is linked to the kidneys. So the kidneys house our vital energy, and they produce and offer all other energy to the rest of the body. So if we find an imbalance in the chi here, it really does affect all other organs. And we feel that sense of dullness, of tiredness, fatigue, stress, the body's being overworked, the mind's overworked. Or we feel a sensation of depression, apathy, and stagnation. So embodying that quality of moving with the tides, of finding our flows and rhythms like water does, really helps us to bring that sense of Jing essence back into the body, back into the mind. We're just taking a final round of breath here. And then with your next inhalation, if you've come to caterpillar, just slowly pad yourself back up to a lifted position. And you can maybe take some knee sways, leaning back into the hands, bringing the feet to the floor. If you've got legs up the wall, you can either hug the knees into the body and roll off to a side, or you can slowly slide your legs round from an L shape, and then bring your legs into the body, just depending how much space you have. And so when you're ready, we're making our way into Yoga Nidra. So you can set yourself up with a nice bit of support and cushioning behind you. So if you wanted to have some blocks under the feet or cushions under the feet and under the knees, that's really nice. And then maybe you'd like to bring a blanket underneath the back of the head. And maybe even an eye cloth, or you can turn the lights down, whichever feels most beneficial for you. So just get yourself set up and comfortable. So this Yoga Nidra is for healing and clearing and purifying the subconscious mind and any attachments, to bring in an intention for forgiveness. So just lay down, bring yourself into that comfortable position. You'd like to bring a blanket over you just to keep warm. Make sure that you are warm and comfortable. And just allowing your arms to rest down beside the body. Arms and legs stretched out long, take up space through the whole body, and really rest the shoulder blades wide onto the floor. Just making any final adjustments so that you feel nice and comfortable. Now, from this really still and comfortable space, just allow your mind to drop into the sounds that you can hear around you. So just tuning into sounds that you can hear close by. And then gradually hear sounds further and further away from the body, without any analysis of the sounds, just observation. And gradually begin to guide your awareness back closer towards your body. And then observe your body. And scan it through with your mind, your awareness. And notice if there are any areas of your body holding tension unnecessarily. Please invite those areas to relax so that your whole physical body is completely open and heavy. And you feel a surrendering into the force of gravity, surrendering to that pull of the earth. Now become aware of your breath. Take conscious hold of your breath and practice conscious deep breathing, aware of the belly rising and falling as you breathe. Really notice the difference in quality of the inhale, which is much more revitalizing and nourishing, invigorating. And the exhale brings a sense of surrender, of release, of letting go. Now release conscious hold of the breath and just notice that the body breathes by itself. The whole body breathes. You are not the breather, but you're the one witnessing the body breathe. Allow yourself to sink even more deeply into that witness. and rest completely in awareness. Move your awareness to the center of your forehead and relax the whole area. And see or feel a point of light emerge, a single point of light, like a tiny star, in the center of your forehead. Now move your awareness to the center of your throat and relax the area. Feel the point of light emerging. Now to the right shoulder, point of light, completely relaxed. The right elbow, the right wrist, tip of the right thumb, point of light. Index finger, middle finger, ring finger, tip of the little finger, point of light. Whole body is effortless. Right wrist, right elbow, relaxed. Right shoulder, center of the throat, point of light. The left shoulder, left elbow, center of the left wrist, tip of the left thumb, left index finger, middle finger, ring finger, tip of the little finger, point of light. Relaxed. Left wrist, left elbow, shoulder, center of the throat. Allow the body to sleep, mind to sleep. Allow the awareness and the witness to remain awake. Center of the chest, relax. See or feel the point of light emerging. Right side of the chest, point of light. Center of the chest. Left side of the chest. Center of the chest. Navel center, relaxed, point of light emerging. Top of the sacrum. Center of the right hip. Right knee. Right ankle. Tip of the right big toe. Second, third, fourth, fifth. Relaxed, point of light. Right ankle, knee, center of the right hip, top of the sacrum, point of light, center of the left hip, left knee, left ankle, tip of the left big toe, second toe, third, fourth, fifth toe, relaxed, point of light, left ankle, knee, center of the left hip, top of the sacrum, navel center, whole body relaxed. Center of the chest, throat, center of the forehead, point of light. Now feel into all of those points simultaneously, all points pulsing together as one, like a brightly lit constellation of stars. Relax even deeper into pure witnessing consciousness, aware of all of the points, and a sense of spaciousness surrounding the points. And the breath like a gentle breeze moving through that space. Now, in your own intuitive way, see your body lying on the floor, practicing Yoga Nidra right now. Become aware of your subtle breath, your gentle breath, this time just as it moves in and out through the nostrils. Become aware of the breath moving as two independent streams, one through the left and one through the right. Each breath in, the streams ascend the nostrils, touching a singular point in the middle of the forehead. And on the exhale, two streams descend from that singular point. Using only your mind, now we'll move into mental alternate nostril breathing. So the next time you breathe in, feel the breath move in through the left nostril only. In your mind, see it touch the apex point, and on the exhale, the breath moves out of the right nostril only. Inhale, bring the breath through the right nostril only, touch the midpoint, center of the forehead or eyebrow center, and exhale out through the left nostril. In left, out right, in right, out left. And just continue on with mental alternate nostril breathing. Just be effortless. Now carefully adjust back into regular breathing through both nostrils, balanced on both sides. And just relax your awareness of your breath and let it be completely spontaneous. Rest your awareness into the middle of the forehead and see the space like a black screen. This is the screen of your mind. It's called Chidikasha. Position yourself back from the screen, somewhere in the middle of your brain, and observe forward the black screen. Just watch the screen, witness without any expectation or attachment. Just watching the screen of the mind and allowing images to unfold of their own volition. Just simply watch. If there are no images or symbols on the screen, just simply relax more and become increasingly more effortless. Just witness. Now let go of the Chidikasha, the mind screen. Release all technique and rest in spacious awareness. Just rest in here in complete spacious awareness. Now think of a person, bring that person to your mind that you would wish to let go of or forgive. It may be someone who is presently in your life, regularly or not so frequent. They might be near to you or far away, or it might be someone from your past. Visualize the person standing in front of you and think of the reason for letting this person go or offering them forgiveness. It may be the person causes you harm for your well-being, causes you to feel negative emotions, or simply because it is time to let go of the situation. Let yourself feel all the emotions attached to the person and the situation. Now bring your attention to the solar plexus, your stomach area, and visualize a fine silvery energy cord that reaches from your solar plexus to their solar plexus. This silver cord creates a link and attachment to each other. And see it radiate and pulsate as it feeds the energy connection between you two. Every time you even think about this person or be in contact with this person, the link between you is strengthened. Now imagine that you have a big pair of golden scissors in your hand and visualize yourself cutting through this energy cord with the scissors. If it doesn't cut through the first time, do it again with emotional strength behind it. Detach yourself from this person and dissolve the connection. You are now completely detached, and I want you to surround the person with healing green light. Wish them well. Bless them with love and forgiveness for their journey. And now see them turn around and move off on their own path. Feel the release around your solar plexus. And I want you to pull any remaining energy back into your solar plexus. See all of your energy return into your solar plexus. Cover and seal it with a yellow light. Tell yourself, I bring all my energy back to me. You are safe and protected. You hold your own power with love. Now let yourself be aware of any feelings of heaviness left over in your body or energy field, or any residual emotions. Visualize yourself under a gentle waterfall or shower of silver light, and let this light pour over you, through you, and out through your hands and feet. Every single cell in your whole body, clearing and cleansing your energy field of any negative residue. Bring your attention now to your chest area. Here you can see a green light, emerald green of the heart chakra. And visualize your breath moving into your heart, letting it soften with every breath. Allow the small green light to expand and to get brighter, and see it swirling in your chest. As you breathe in, the light and the swirling grows bigger. And as you breathe out, let go of any tension, any heaviness in your heart. Allow it to all leave your heart with every breath out. Release any negative emotions from your heart center that have been wearing you down, and allow yourself to feel these emotions as they leave your body. Feel the pain and let it go with each out breath. Release all pain, unforgiveness, resentment, anger, grief, self-loathing, loss, regret. It is natural to feel these emotions, and it's healthy to feel them deeply, but let go. You must let go. And allow it all to leave the heart center to make space for forgiveness and for love. As you let go of the past, you realize there are no mistakes, only lessons and growth as you move forward. Continuous cycles of learning and growing. Situations and people entering your life and leaving again when the purpose is served. Everyone we meet is for a reason, a blessing or a lesson, and everything is happening in the right way at the right time. And just as the body needs to heal from an illness or an injury, the heart and soul also need time to heal from hurt, pain, anger. It's a gradual process of growing and healing. And now, in this moment of time, let go of any hurt in your heart. Make room to invite in another little piece of healing for new and beautiful people and situations. Bring your attention back to your heart center, the gentle swirling, and feel a sensation of readiness to invite in some beautiful green light, color of spring. And really bathe your heart center with nourishment, renewal, and healing. Allow your heart to take what it needs and say to yourself, I easily forgive myself and others. I lovingly forgive myself. They are free and I am free. All is well in my heart now. I allow myself to give and receive love freely. Fill your heart up with this green light and allow it to heal you with every in-breath. The green glow brings you a sense of deep love, compassion, and balance. And as you breathe in, allow it to fill up your whole chest area. You are loved, you are free, and you are back to your center. Allow this center of love to glow, bring gifts of compassion, self-acceptance, and the ability to love deeply. Breathe in the green swirling light and let these feelings expand, seeing yourself living in perfect harmony with everyone in your life. Let it fill you with gratitude for this opportunity to live in this wonderful world. Feel your heart swell with compassion and forgiveness for yourself and for others. Continue to breathe in, allowing this wonderful light to fill your heart and feel it radiate throughout your entire body. Green glow filling every single space, healing every cell that it fills. And let the light fill your body and heart until it is overflowing, until you have more than you need. Until you can spread your light and love back out again with the world and drawing it in through your heart chakra and letting it flow back out in a beautiful cycle. Spend a few moments allowing yourself to breathe in the healing light, dissolving all those negative feelings, Seeing that cycle of energy flowing out from you to the rest of the world. Now visualize your heart chakra coming back into that small almond-sized glow of green light back into the center. Bring your awareness back to the flow of your breathing in and out. In and out. Feel the cool of your in-breath in the throat. Feeling a sense of warmth as you exhale the breath. Notice the natural movement of your tummy rising and falling as you breathe. Become aware again of your full body as it rests against the floor. Bring your attention to your toes and give them a small wiggle. Then to your fingers, give them a little wiggle. Give your shoulders a little bit of movement. And let yourself be aware of the room again and all the sounds close by. And then when you're ready, take in some bigger movements, maybe a stretch or hugging the knees into the body. And rolling off to a side and pause on your side. Just take a few transitioning breaths here. And then when you're ready, bring yourself up to a comfortable seated position. Bring yourself back to the present moment, really soaking up all the energy of the practice. And bring hands into prayer. Just resting the hands onto the heart space. Taking a nice deep breath into the heart. And exhale to release through a sigh. Practice of Yoga Nidra is now complete. When you're ready, gently open the eyes and come back into the space. Namaste. Thank you so much, everyone.